It started.
Okay. Let me get my... Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our meeting it's a special board meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Do I have a motion to begin the regular board meeting?
So moved.
I second.
John Christensen,
Yay.
Chris DeLuca,
Yay.
Kathy Helen,
Aye.
Ann Och,
Yay.
AJ Wilson,
Yay.
motion carried.
Okay. Our first item up is a presentation of the IGA between Pueblo School District 60 and School District 70 regarding the Pueblo Urban Renewal Authority presentation, or PURA. And Mrs. Ryan, do you want to take that?
Sure. We have an intergovernmental agreement between our district and District 60 in regard to Pueblo Urban Renewal Authority representation. And so each year or is it 2 years, Chris? Every 2 years we rotate back and forth as
Every
to who
year.
Okay, every year we rotate back and forth as to who is the voting partner for PURA. And so we're updating that IG agreement between us, District 60 and PURA. Any questions?
Nope.
I don't
Nope.
think so.
Okay.
Who will be voting this year?
Yeah.
Me.
Okay.
Me, and then Kathy De Niro is, well, I don't know. District 60 will be next year because I think Kathy's term limited this year. So it'll be somebody from District 60. And what we should do, they should just make this IGA for odd years for District 70 and even years for District 60. And then we don't have to do this every 2 years. Because until they change the statute, somebody has to hold the seat.
That's a good idea.
Okay. So let's go ahead. I guess we're ready to move on. Anybody else?
Well, how did they not remember to remind whoever it is that you needed to renew that?
Who knows? So we got hit with it. I voted last Tuesday to move into an agreement with the city and that Da Vinci Museum or whatever. And then out of nowhere, they're like, oh, your vote didn't count because your IGA's expired. And it's like, nobody thought of that one before. So we have to push this through because they're going to maybe call another meeting here shortly, depending on what the state decides to do with this Da Vinci Museum. So they needed a vote out of us in case it, goes to a roll and it's tight.
So what's it going to take to get this rocking and rolling?
This meeting, that's why we're hosting a special meeting.
We're going to make our vote to renew that.
Yeah.
Okay. Our next item is a discussion on potential dates for town hall meetings in Beulah, Avondale, and the Rye area. So I wanted to go ahead and open this up. I asked Mrs. Ryan earlier about the dates that the schools would be open to us to use. So I'll go ahead and let you take that.
Okay. I wanted to wait until after we had met with our principals and come up with what we are already cutting as far as staff are concerned. And I wanted to meet with our directors first. And so I would propose that we look at a Tuesday, which is February 25th at 5:30 for one of the town halls. And then Thursday, February 27th and March 6th. Those
Sorry,
are
Rhonda, say that again? It was,
Okay,
There's-
the reason I chose those they were not board meeting dates. So Tuesday, February 25th,
okay,
Thursday, February 25th or 27th, and March 6th.
okay. So February 25th, February 27th, and March 5th. 6th.
Yep. Those are dates that I would propose that we would do town halls in the different areas. I would
Okay.
want to meet with the principals to see which date of those three worked best for them.
Okay. Um,
Are we not gonna meet in Pueblo West at all?
I don't think we need to. Do we?
Well, I ran the
Well-
number and there was absolutely no way to consolidate an elementary in Pueblo West. There's,
I'm not to close or anything. I'm just thinking as an informational, this is what's happening to your neighbors, but if it's not needed, then we don't have to, no extras, but just wanted to throw it out there.
Well, it's good communication to the community.
and I could put another date on there for March for Pueblo West if you guys would like to meet in March. And so let me pull it up.
You know, maybe that would be a good idea.
March
just
11th.
just to have an extra date in case others are not able to get to those other meetings or town halls.
Right. I think if we hit one, because what if somebody in Pueblo West, because there's Pueblo West people that their kids go to Avondale. So my thing is if we hit all four and then just again, this is what's happening. I think,
Yeah,
that
I agree
they
with
should
that.
know.
I think we need to include Pueblo West as well.
Okay. I have March 11th, which is a Tuesday.
It's another Tuesday.
Can you
Mhm.
do that on
And-
Thursday?
That would work better for me as the Tuesdays.
We have that Thursday, we have a Champions of Youth. It's the boys and it's the only thing that we do for a dinner this year, and it's the Boys and Girls Club on that Thursday.
I did look, I jumped on the R School athletic scheduler, and both basketball games for those February dates are away. So I don't know if that makes a difference of holding one at Rye during an away game that opens up the entire gymnasium
Oh, that's
at the
nice.
high school. Just a little tidbit of information.
Okay, which dates, John, did you say? Were both away games?
Well, you had February 25th and 27th, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah. Those are, let me slide back over and look at that calendar. Yeah, 25th, Rye is away, and they don't have a game on the 27th. They're away on the 28th. So Rye High is open both of those dates. It looks like, other than other activities, you'd have to give De Young or Addington on that.
Okay. I think if we throw out those 4 dates to the different areas, then we can find a good match for every one of them. Elementary won't be difficult. If we're gonna meet at the high schools, that's where it becomes a little challenging. I would assume that we would meet at Avondale, at Beulah for Beulah, and then I assume you're wanting to meet at Rye High School for Graber.
Well, I just was Rye Elementary, it gets crowded pretty quick in there.
Yeah, okay. And then
But
we could
I
always.
don't
We
know.
don't want to meet at Craver?
I don't know. What do you think, Rhonda? I mean,
Either way, I mean,
I don't know where we'd get a better turnout. I mean, Craver's been the little stepchild out here for 40 years, you know? So I don't know on that one. Yeah, Chris, it would make sense to meet at that school, but there's not a whole lot of involvement at that school. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Community involvement, I mean.
So
So I
I
don't
kind
know,
of
I
think,
guess I guess we can chew on it.
I kind of think it would be best at Rye High School because that's where the majority of that community is. So they travel the least by going to Rye High School. And same with Pueblo. I think that we should, in Pueblo West, we should meet at Pueblo West High School.
High school. Okay.
That works.
Mhm.
Now, can Beulah and Avondale, can they handle a town hall?
Yeah.
Well,
I
I'll
know
tell you that
Beulah can.
Avondale will be packed.
Okay,
Yeah.
The community of Avondale will be there.
okay. Well, just making sure we don't break any fire codes or anything like that.
I can always see if there's a better place in Avondale to meet, but I do think that Avondale, the school is probably the largest meeting area
I
other
was
than.
gonna say that's the biggest
other-
building there, unless we went on the softball field.
Or the church.
Well, Avondale, you've got that,
Um,
you've got the
The
cafeteria and then
communities-
that stage it opens up.
The community center, which is only a few blocks away, could hold a large crowd, and they have that big center space as well, so that's an option. Gym is still probably bigger at Avondale, though.
I agree.
Okay. Okay, so all of us board members is everybody okay with those dates?
Thursdays might be hard for me. Can
Can
But the
you
Tuesday-
make some
the
of them
Tuesdays
work?
I should probably do. I can see what I can do, yeah.
Okay, because that's the thing, it's gonna be hard for us to schedule these so quickly
Right,
and move them
Yeah.
around.
yeah.
right.
I think as long as you are present specifically for the area you represent, that would be the most beneficial. I think if you're able to make all of them, that's great, but certainly the one that you represent.
And you're looking at 5:30 start times?
Yeah, I think if we can get our families there just as soon as they get off work, that'll be ideal.
Sure.
That way we're not keeping them out too late, but we're also we're not, having them mull around for an hour after work, waiting for
Right,
this.
yeah.
And then are we gonna pick I guess oh gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Style of town hall, like how are we gonna do this? Are we,
As far as taking input from the community?
yeah, like are we gonna have so many speakers? Are we gonna, here's what we have to say, please come back, I mean, I just some kind of an orderly fashion to them, because if not, they could get ugly.
I think it would be good for us to have an agenda that we talk about, with reasons for its consideration and what the savings are. And then I also think that it would be good to have a sign-up sheet for them to be able to speak. And again, you would want to limit the time that they're going to speak, similar to doing the open forum.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could host it just like an open forum type of town hall, so we can start the conversation with the information Rhonda was talking about, and then we can move into discussion and keep everything at 3 minutes, every speaker at 3 minutes.
It's gonna be kind of
And-
hard to do that in that type of setting, isn't that? I mean, questions are gonna arise after the information given. I mean, some of them may not be premeditated for them, is what I'm saying. And is the 3-minute deal really? I mean, I don't know. It just seems a little constrictive on a town hall format.
So do you want to
Like
take questions then? Like they do for presidentials?
Well, I guess that's what was rolling around in my head was almost, treat it like that, and have more or less a moderator which would be all of us, I guess, but
How about I do
don't-
some research on the best way to do this town hall, and then I'll come back to you guys with some ideas for the best way to do this town hall.
Also, a question, Rhonda, is there any way that they could do a handout that has a lot of the information like right in front of them, so there's
Yeah.
no questions, not questions, but it doesn't get confused. So if
Yeah,
they want to
I-
ask something specific, that, they have it in front of them and say, what about XYZ?
Oh, here?
But remember that some of this is gonna require logistics, and logistics are gonna take some time for all of us to work out. And they're not gonna be totally done on that date, because we're just looking at these things for consideration. And so I think it's important for us just to have some factual information, like Kathy's saying, but I know that the questions are gonna get into the weeds of, well, what is this gonna look like? Are they gonna have their separate bathrooms? Are they gonna have separate locker rooms? Or, like if we're doing consolidation, or how are you going to redraw the boundary lines? So they're really going to ask some questions that are going to take some time for us to be able to solve.
So do we need to push the town hall meetings to where we have more of that information?
Well, I'm working on all that information, but it takes a little bit of time. I mean, the redesigning
Right.
or redrawing of lines, all of this takes a little bit of time, and we're
Oh, for
we're
sure.
still working to, taking care of the district. So we are trying to get it all together before those town halls. And at least that gives us about a month to work on everything.
well, we really can't wait either because they're going to approve the budget sometime in March, right?
So the governor will approve his budget probably in May. It's usually, and it could be even the end of May. I attended Tracy Rainey's advisory meeting today. And I mean, you also probably saw that there was some sort of a calculation problem with their formulas. And so they're even considering putting the entire new funding formula on hold. They also were going over the,
What
remember
kind
the
of
town
input
hall?
would
You
they
recall
have?
the town hall that we attended and we had to give feedback? And so that town hall that we attended and gave feedback, they went over all of the results and their suggestions for the funding formula. And I did not see what Tish Morrow had put out, that we would potentially look at being considered rural. I did not see that at all on either suggestion. However, one of them, went completely away from rural versus urban. One of the suggestions for the formula went completely away from that and really only looked at EL at risk, ESS. So those specific factors were taken into account rather than where you're located.
Sorry,
So-
Rhonda, I don't want to interrupt you, but this is going off our topic.
Nope, you're right.
We need to have more conversation about this, and we will.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and move on to make sure that we're not taking up more time. So one format that we can do for the town hall is a presentation. Like you said, we can limit the question and answer and audience participation to like 40, 50 minutes. So we could do it like that. We could have one lump sum of time if you guys would like to do that instead of limiting per person. Because we do not know how many are going to be there and who
Right.
is going to be talking.
And we'd have to, if there's hundreds that want to speak, we'd have to change that timing.
Right.
But I also, I shouldn't have, we don't have to decide on that tonight. We have a meeting in the in between. It's just getting I think this is really just for the dates so we can all plan in advance. Because for the next meeting, if we want to put a line item for discussion for what we want the town halls to look like, etc., like that would be a better use of our time currently. Real quick though, I do believe that we should invite our commissioners, and if they can attend as well at any of these dates, especially for their areas. This affects them just as much. I don't know if you'll get a legislator there, but we could try.
That's a great idea. Try to get them all there.
Yeah. Instead of sending out that email that fluffs everybody.
Right. Right. I'm good with that. So we can decide on how we want to do the town halls in between now and the first one.
Yeah.
And then, so we're good on those dates then? Rhonda, that you're gonna check with the schools?
Yep.
Make sure?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Also, if you guys have any, if the board members have any suggestions on the format of the town hall, please send them my way. And we can look at different options for that too. Okay. Anything else in regards to the meetings?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, we'll move on to consent agenda items. So, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda items?
So moved.
I second.
John Christensen,
Yay.
Krista Luca,
Yay.
Kathy Helen. Kathy Helen,
Aye.
Ann Och,
Yay.
AJ Wilson,
Yay.
motion carried.
Okay, so our next board meeting is scheduled for February 18th, 2025 at the Educational Services Center, beginning at 6 p.m. Our special meeting is now adjourned.